And one of our more anticipated team battles on the docket this morning. And this is our Division III girls. You can see everybody in it early on. But number 1 ranked Santa Margarita. They were second here the last 2 seasons. And currently number 2 in California. Oak Park, they're Coastal Canyon League champs. They were third here a year ago. Their 13th straight season. Moving on. And they're currently tied for number 3 in California. And they happen to be tied with El Toro. El Toro, they are the South Coast League. They were third in the South Coast League, and they were your Division II champs a year ago. So Isabella Rubluski of Yorba Linda, your early leader, taking the pacing chores out. That's Becky Osorio, who has made it on to the California State meet 3 years in a row. She's trying to go 4 for 4 here this morning from West Covina. And right on the shoulder of Osorio of West Covina, that is Carol Dye of Santa Margarita. And Alana Thomas of Santa Margarita also right there in that front 4. So going right to left on your screens there, Robluski, Thomas, Osorio of West Covina, and Carol Dye. Carol Dye last year was 7th at the California State meet in Division I. Now moving over to Santa Margarita, and that's Camila Salim of West Torrance in the all gold over white 1668. She is one of the individual favorites here in this Division III affair. Yorba Linda ranked number 8 in California for Division III. They are 4th in the Southern section. San Marcos ranked number 9 in the Southern section. And they are currently 5th, number 9 in California, number 5 in the Southern section. And Palos Verdes ranked 10th in California, number 6 in the Southern section. So very similar to what we saw in the Division III boys race, the Division III girls race. Everybody content to stay with each other here early on. And Vasquez of Simi Valley now making a surge. She's the first one to reveal her cards and make a move. Little more than a half mile into the race of this Division III race. So that is Cecilia Vasquez, the junior of Simi Valley. Very much improved and having a great 2025 breakout season. She has now gapped the field by about 10 meters here. About 3/4 of a mile into the race. So that chase back now with Robluski, Carol Dye, Thomas, Temple, and Santa Margarita, Salim of West Torrance, and now Vasquez giving them the carrot out front as that group will now use her. She's going to come through the 1 mile with about maybe a 10-second advantage here early on. So Cecilia Vasquez taking over the screen here. She sat with that group the first half mile or so and now making her move, and everybody else playing catch up here through the first mile. We'll be getting team splits here momentarily. Again, great competition on tap between El Toro, Santa Margarita, and Oak Park. And she comes through at 5:27. 5:27 for Vasquez. Celine coming through at 5:30. That chase group now starting to pick up the pace. Robluski, Yorba Linda, Osorio, West Covina, Gwyneth Williams of El Toro, Colston of Santa Margarita. Santa Margarita, the Lady Eagles, first group there with 5 across the 1 mile mark. And Oak Park now matching that, and El Toro. So the battle that we thought would come through here is living up to form here in that first mile. Meanwhile, Yorba Linda, Palos Verdes, Mater Dei in the top 7. San Marcos currently in 7th, along with Simi Valley. So that group now trying to re-engage and get back up there with Vasquez. Vasquez, she's gone 17-13 for a 3 mile course this season. But a pretty experienced racing group all within that pack. Santa Margarita, they've been runner-ups back-to-back years here in Division III, and obviously not looking for that second place plaque here again. And Oak Park, they were 3rd here a year ago. El Toro, they were the Division II champions a year ago and now moved down to join the groups here in Division III. So Thomas and Dye now move into the front of that chase group. Meanwhile, Palos Verdes, they were 5th at the 1 mile mark. And they're looking to make it for the 17th year in a row, making it again. Osorio is leading that charge there. Osorio with made 3 years in a row to the California State meet. Robluski of Yorba Linda, Dye, that's Colston of Santa Margarita. Everybody else, Crocker and Schroeder of El Toro, along with Gwyneth Williams. So now getting ready to take that last left turn down Stadium Way. You can see them moving through the Mt SAC course. And what was a 4-second gap at the mile is now going to close to about closer to a 2-second gap. But that group, they're working together, looking to catch Cecilia Vasquez of Simi Valley. Vasquez making a good move there, now taking the lead and doing the pace setting chores here in this Division III Girls Championship. And Camila Salim, one of the favorites coming in. She's gone 16:29 on 3 mile courses this year. She was 12th here a year ago. Really performed well, posting out a 16:40 at the Dana Hills Invitational. Came back with a 17:25 at Clovis. One of the top talents in California there, Salim in the gold of West Torrance, only a junior. And she's right there with Carol Dye and Colston of Santa Margarita, Robluski. And Robluski, she comes equipped with 2:11 speed over the 800 meters in the track season. Osorio staying tough. She's in that group. And what was one is now merged together to become, looks like 6 girls up front. Vasquez, Gwyneth Williams of El Toro maintaining contact. Salim, Robluski, Dye, and Colston. So Vasquez now putting a surge in. She feels these girls from behind, but responds with a surge. And what we thought was all going to come together now, she is tough up front here. Wroblewski, Salim. And now moving into the lead is Isabella Wroblewski, the junior out of Yorba Linda, Camila Salim of West Torrance, Colston and Dye, the two Santa Margarita young ladies there running shoulder to shoulder with Vasquez in that group. Osorio on the back end of that group is in 6th. Osorio was 3rd a year ago, 6th the year before that. And she's going to hang on to that group there, trying to make it on as an individual. Gwyneth Williams, Malashiva of Palos Verdes, Cruz of Oak Park, Schroeder and Crocker of El Toro. So we're going to get some splits here at the 2-mile mark. And Salim is 11:06, Vasquez at 11:07, Dye at 11:07, Wroblewski 11:07. So slightly a little more paced out race here, Division III girls compared to Division II. Division II, we had 5 girls all under 11. Salim taking us through at 11:06, but Santa Margarita, El Toro, and Oak Park, no surprises there. They are the first squads with 5 across, and the race is on. Wroblewski, Salim, Dye, and Colston of Santa Margarita. Santa Margarita with 2 in the top 4. But Santa Margarita and that pack running of El Toro, there's only 5 points that separate these schools. Only a couple miles separating these two schools there in South Orange County. But Santa Margarita with a 5-point advantage over El Toro with Oak Park in 3rd, Yorba Linda in 4th, San Marcos in 5th, Palos Verdes in 6th. And Mater Dei and West Torrance, they're going to duke it out here with less than a mile to go and only 4 points separating those two squads. For that 7th last qualifying spot on to next week's California State Championships up in Fresno on the Woodward Park course. So Wroblewski now lead the way going down the airstrip with Salim on her right shoulder. Dye and Colston. This will be a huge step-up performance there for Colston of Santa Margarita, making a big difference for those Eagles getting in the top 4. So Osorio, Vasquez still right in there. Williams, Crocker, and Schroeder of El Toro within 5 seconds of each other. Malashiva of Palos Verdes also in that chase group. So 4 girls coming in. They're going to take that last left turn, go through Guard Alley, and make their way to the stadium. Osorio's in 5th, Vasquez in 6th, Williams in 7th, Malashiva, Palos Verdes in 8th. Crocker and Schroeder 9th and 10th. Cruz, check that, that's Lambie of Oak Park now making a move. Anybody's race with 500 meters to go. Dye and Colston now move into the pole position. 1-2, taking that left turn, but Salim with an answer. Carol Dye, she was a state meet medalist in the mile a year ago It's Salim of West Torrance, Colston of Santa Margarita. 350 meters to go. We're only at 15:35 on the clock. Wroblewski trying to keep contact with those three. Wroblewski very well versed on the track. And Dye, Salim, Colston. And the second chase group is Vasquez, Osorio, and Gwyneth Williams now moving into 5th place. Huge 2-point swing there for El Toro. Santa Margarita trying to hold on to those top 3 spots there. It is Carol Dye and Salim. Now Colston making her move on the outside with less than 200 meters to go. Wroblewski still keeping these 3 in their sights. Gwyneth Williams leading the charge. But it's going to come down to 3 girls there, very similar to what we saw in their Division II race. Is Dye, Colston, Salim, Wroblewski, and Santa Margarita. You can't start any better than this on paper. I don't know if they had this one drawn up, folks, but Carol Dye, Taryn Colston, 1-2, Santa Margarita, 16:41, Kalina Salim of West Torrance, and Wroblewski of Yorba Linda, Williams, Lambie of Oak Park with a huge finish.
Hey, what's up, HG runners? Here we are at the Southern Section Cross Country Championships, race number 4, Division 3 for girls. Here we are with Carol Dye, the #1 finisher today, 16:39.7. Tell us about that time for you. I mean, you tell me it was 2 seconds away from your PR.
Yeah, I definitely went out with like kind of unrealistic expectations. I didn't really know what the competition was going to be like, but I told myself to stay in the top 3, top 5 pack and stay right behind them and give my all in the last mile and just see what happens.
Yeah, it was super impressive, pretty measured race, I would say. How did you feel like, going into the first mile, you were like top 5, but then you started picking it up?
The first mile was definitely kind of hard, just like getting my foot in the race and establishing position. But when I got into the second mile, I just told myself to try to keep the same pace and not do anything too crazy because a race is never won in the second mile. So the third mile, I just told myself to keep the same place. And then also when I got down to the last like 500 meters, I told myself to start my kick there, but also kind of be aware that not to do it too early because never know what happens.
It's pretty interesting because you were right next to Taryn Colston, your other teammate. She was 16:40.1. What's it like kind of even just like going like hand to hand with her at the end there?
Yeah, I was definitely like shocked because like she's definitely improving so much. So I was glad to see that I had my team around me in the race and just like having them around me helped push me. Yeah, I'm so proud of her. She's definitely improved a lot, and I think our team is really leveling up this season, so I'm super excited for state and to see what we do there.
Would you like to thank anybody for this win? Any coaches, any parents, anybody?
I'd like to thank God, my family, and my coaches and teammates. They've all been like super supportive and helping me achieve my goals this season, and also my teammates for always being there despite like the conditions and also being willing to sacrifice themselves in the race and give it their best.
Oak Park secure right there in 3rd. Yorba Linda, Palos Verdes. This would be the 18th straight season Palos Verdes has advanced on to the California State Meet, and that now lead is down to 1 point. And San Marcos in 6th, and Modern Day, your Lady Monarchs with a 5-point advantage. This would be a huge performance there for Modern Day as they came in ranked number 11 and sitting in that 7th and last qualifying spot onto the California State Championships. They now have a 9-point advantage over West Torrance. So El Toro High School, they hold the advantage in number 5 and number 6, and they have a 2-point advantage there over Santa Margarita. So with all 16 teams in, they were your Division II champs a year ago. They moved down to Division III, and your Chargers of El Toro will do it once again. They will be your Division III team champions. Santa Margarita, they will be second for the third year in a row, earning that plaque. In Oak Park, they will be third for the second year in a row. And the rankings right now living right true to form there. But the upset, the surprise here is Mater Dei moving into that 7th spot and advancing on to the California State meet.